In 1993, three guys sat inside a noisy Denny's booth in San Jose, eating cheap pancakes. They had no product, no office, and zero revenue. Today, that company is worth over $4 trillion. Its name is NVIDIA. NVIDIA doesn't make consumer smartphones. They don't operate social media platforms. And they don't host cloud websites. Yet, without them, the entire modern AI industry, OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, and Tesla, would collapse overnight. They control over 80% of the global market for artificial intelligence hardware. To Wall Street, NVIDIA looks like an overnight miracle, but the truth is far stranger. They didn't build their empire by predicting the AI revolution. They built it by spending 20 years and billions of dollars on a technology that investors begged them to abandon. This is the story of near bankruptcy, a secret billion-dollar gamble, and how a CEO in a leather jacket built the most valuable monopoly in human history. Today, on Tech Valuation, we break down the rise of NVIDIA. Before he was a billionaire titan, Jensen Huang was a 30-year-old chip designer sitting in a booth at Denny's with his co-founders, Chris Malachowski and Curtis Preem. The year was 1993. Video games were primitive, two-dimensional pixels, but Jensen saw a multi-billion-dollar wave coming. Three-dimensional graphics. They raised $40,000, built their first chip called the NV1, and launched it in 1995. It was a complete disaster. NVIDIA had bet on a mathematical rendering standard, quadratic surfaces, while Microsoft released DirectX, which used polygons instead. Suddenly, NVIDIA chip couldn't play the newest games. Within 2 years, they were 30 days away from payroll bankruptcy. With their last remaining cash, Jensen made a desperate pivot. He abandoned their original architecture, aligned entirely with Microsoft's standards, and built the Riva 128. It was a massive gamble. If the chip failed, NVIDIA was finished. But when it released in 1990, it sold 1 million units in 4 months. NVIDIA was saved. By 1999, NVIDIA went public at $12 a share. That same year, they released the GeForce 256 and officially coined a new word in the tech lexicon, the GPU, or graphics processing unit. Unlike traditional computer CPUs, which process complex tasks one by one, the GPU was designed to run thousands of simple tasks simultaneously. By 2006, NVIDIA was dominating the gaming world. But Jensen Huang had a crazy realization. A GPU was essentially a massive parallel supercomputer. What if programmers could use it for things other than video games, like scientific simulations, physics, and complex math? To do this, NVIDIA introduced a software layer called CUDA. CUDA was a brilliant concept, but Wall Street hated it. Adding CUDA capabilities to every single GPU increased manufacturing costs significantly, while almost no software developers were actually using it. For nearly a decade, NVIDIA poured billions into CUDA, watching their profit margins suffer. Investors repeatedly called for Jensen to scrap it. He refused. Then, in 2012, the miracle happened. A group of researchers, led by Alex Krzyzewski, used to consumer NVIDIA, GeForce cards, and CUDA to train a deep neural network called AlexNet. It crushed the global computer vision competition, proving to the world that GPUs paired with CUDA were the secret engine for artificial intelligence. Jensen didn't hesitate. He immediately reallocated almost the entire company's R&D focus toward AI, while competitors like Intel and AMD were still focusing strictly on PC processors. NVIDIA spent the next decade perfecting the hardware, software, and networking ecosystem required for massive AI data centers. Before the AI craze fully erupted, NVIDIA received 2 massive revenue boosts. First, the crypto mining booms of 2017 and 2021, where miners bought every GPU on Earth. And second, the expansion of cloud data centers. By the time ChatGPT launched in late 2022, NVIDIA wasn't just ready, they were the only supplier in town. When tech giants raced to build large language models, they needed thousands of NVIDIA flagship chip, the H100, selling for up to $40,000 per unit. With estimated profit margins of over 700%, demand was so extreme that companies waited over a year just to get a shipment. NVIDIA wasn't just selling chips, they were selling the shovels in the biggest gold rush in human history. Why can't competitors like AMD or custom chips from Google simply replace them? Because of CUDA. Over 2 decades, millions of AI developers wrote their software code specifically to run on NVIDIA CUDA platform. Switching to another chip maker means rewriting entire software ecosystems from scratch. NVIDIA, greatest product, isn't its silicon, it's the software trap that keeps customers locked in. By 2025, NVIDIA surpassed $3 trillion and $4 trillion in market cap, briefly becoming the most valuable public company on planet Earth. The company that started in a roadside diner now dictates the pace of global technological progress. Yet, the crown is heavy. Geopolitical tensions over chip manufacturing, regulatory scrutiny over monopoly practices, and big tech clients building their own in-house silicon all threaten its dominance. But as history has shown, betting against Jensen Huang is a dangerous game. Because in the end, NVIDIA didn't just win the hardware race. They built the invisible engine powering artificial intelligence. Thanks for watching Tech Valuation. Hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next breakdown.